everyone. Welcome to our online virtual Super Saturday. First, what I want to do is definitely give it back up to the hostess with the mostest, Mr. Billy Scott. He always brings the fire. He always brings the heat. I'm telling you, each and every single time, he does a conference call, he does a webinar, or he does a live meeting in person Super Saturday, people always just feel that energy from him. He always gets us hyped with the music. He's definitely a leader, certainly in his own right in the company. He's certainly a student of the industry. I mean, he has been in network marketing for many years, and I've learned so much from him. So I definitely want to give it back up to him. Also, I want to give it up to Senior Vice President, Mr. Mike Burgos. Man, I tell you, his energy is so contagious. I mean, as soon as he hits the stage or the scene, it's just like, man, it's magnetic, what you feel from him. Certainly do appreciate that. So, ladies and gentlemen, as he stated, my name is Amina Rashid. I'm an Executive Vice President with the company. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to go over our services, and I'm going to show you and give you knowledge on how you can actually explain these services like a pro. So what I want you to do in this chat, I want you to drop, I'm ready. Drop it in the chat for me. I know it's a lot going on right now, but what we're going to do, we're going to get this thing lit. It's going to be hype. We're going to make sure that you walk away and you know the information that you need to take your business to the next level. So now, what I always typically do when I'm, presenting, or whenever I'm talking to a prospect, going over the services, I want them to see it. You know what I mean? I'm a visual learner. I feel like when people see things, seeing is believing. So what I always do is I take them to our UCES Protection Plan website. Now, the UCES Protection Plan website kind of gives you a brief overview of what each and every single service has to offer. So let me go ahead and share my screen. And while I'm pulling this up for you guys, just to give you some background on me, I basically had a little small credit restoration business before I joined this company. And when I found the company on social media back in 2016, January to be exact, I saw an advertisement of Mr. Alfred Nixon. And during that time, my husband was kind of skeptical about it. He was like, listen, I don't think you really need to, utilize these services. Certainly not for us, certainly not for your clients. You're doing fine on your own. But it was something about the products that really made me feel like, you know what, this just brings it all together. It makes it complete because we're offering financial literacy. So I signed up the same day. Mr. Alfred Nixon actually put me on the phone with Ashton Henry during that time. I signed up the same day. And once I got into the company, this is what I did. I left after about 4 or 5 weeks. I left because number one, my payment declined. And number two, I left because I didn't make a sale and I just didn't really, I kind of lost faith and I lost hope. So Mr. Alfred Nixon, he kept contacting me, from month in and month out until the end of the year. So November 28th of 2016, a whole 10 months. How many of you would be consistent like that with your prospects or with people that left the company? For a whole 10 months, you stay in touch with them. You build a relationship. This is a relationship building business. So November 28th of 2016, I came back to the company and I said, you know what, let me just go ahead and give it my all. We've been down and out on our luck before. We've lost everything. Let me go ahead and help as many people as possible. And we've been knocking it out of the park ever since. So let me go ahead and share the screen. And so what I do is I always come here and to our UCES Protection Plan website, and this is really how I break down the services. So you can do this, in front of prospects. You can pull out your phone. You can go to our UCES Protection Plan app. You can, if you have your laptop or your tablet, you can do it there. And this is just a fairly easy way to really for you to learn the services. And it's also an easy way for your prospects to really understand what it is that we have to offer. So I'm going to go ahead and actually just log in here to our dummy account. Now, this is what the clients see once they have access to the protection plan. This is the client portal. They can download the app in the App Store, UCESSP. Now, one cool part that I always hone in on, especially right now, is our customer referral program. The customer referral program is pretty dope because what the co-founders did was they rolled out a process where the clients could actually get their month of service for free. They refer 5 people into our program. They go here, they click add your referral, they put the name, email address, and phone number of the person they want to refer in. It's going to send you, the agent, a notification, hey, you have a referral, and it'll have that contact info. Once you talk to that referral, then you get them enrolled, then the client is going to see that person here under the referral enrolled tab. Now, the client, they have until the end of our retail month to get 5 people enrolled into our program. So literally, a client would have until April 18th, 2020 to get, their 5 people so they can get the month of May for free. So this is a dope program. No other company is doing this where they're actually giving away a month of free service for referrals. We're certainly changing the game. And the cool part about this for us as reps or agents with the company is that we get paid when those clients enroll. So if your customer refers people and you enroll their referral, you get paid for it. So, I mean, it's a win-win situation. Now, this part right here is really dope as well, the shop for less. Now, when the co-founders rolled this out, I was thinking to myself, why did they do this? Like, it doesn't make sense. I don't understand it. Don't tell Paramil and Mike, but that's really what I was thinking, like, it doesn't make sense. But once they really explained it at convention, I said, you know what? Let me give this app a try. All of our customers, all of our agents have access to the Shop for Less app. So we're saving them money. Now, the Shop for Less app, what you would do, I don't know if I have my login on here, it's on my cell phone, but what you would do is you would certainly log into the app, and then let's say you go to Lowe's. You're at Lowe's, you're there at the cashier. The cashier rings you up and they tell you your total. What you're going to do is log into the Shop for Less app, and then you're going to hit the Lowe's button, and you're going to purchase a gift card for the total that they told you. You want to go ahead and already have like your credit card information in there, your debit card, so you can just purchase the gift card right away. So once you do that, they generate a gift card for you in the app instantly. It gives you a barcode. You literally just take your barcode in your phone, you turn it around, let the cashier scan it, and then boom, you get cash back immediately in the app, and you can use it towards other services. There's so many retailers in that app. I mean, I know I've gone to Jamba Juice and used it numerous times. Lowe's, I believe Panera Bread may be in there. There's so many, and you can use it online as well. Definitely a great asset and a great app. So your clients are also getting money back as well. Now, once we go here to the protection plan, you want to click the Access Protection Plan button. Now, once you come here, you're going to see all of the services that's included in our protection plan. Now, first up here is the budgeting tool. Now, budgeting is extremely important. I think we all see and know by now that you must have a budget. I don't care how much money you make. If you don't have your budgeting and your spending under control, guess what? You're going to be in that vicious cycle of debt and living from paycheck to paycheck. That was me. I'm not afraid to say it. I always thought the more money I made, that the better off I would be, but that is false, okay? Y'all give me some good info. Put good info in the chat right there. Y'all light me up with good info, because I'm about to really educate you guys on some good stuff here. So put good info in there. Light it up, light it up, light it up. Now, it's you must know budgeting, and you must be able to formulate a budget. They have videos here to explain it to you. You go here to the budgeting menu, you click create budget, and you put your expenses in there. You must do this. This is so important. This is probably one of the most important tools that we have in this protection plan, because here's the thing. Like I told you, I don't care, if your credit score is 780, 100 through the roof. If you have bad spending habits, you're going to be back in the same vicious cycle of debt continuously. Now, the credit restoration. The way the credit restoration works, the client wants to log into our app or either into our UCES Protection Plan website. Then this up here is going to say pull credit. Once they do that, it's going to ask them some verifying questions, and then they get to see a copy of their credit report. Then they come here to our dashboard. Once they see the dashboard, it's going to show them their initial credit score. This credit score won't change because this is the credit score they had when they joined our program and they initially pulled their credit. Now, this is where they keep track of their progress report, their process report. Now, during this time, our corporate office is sending them updates through the app, push notifications. Hey, watch out for your letters. They're on the way. Hey, it's been 30 to 45 days. Check your mailbox. You may have results from the credit bureaus. So we're always sending them notifications. And I believe we even have a department in corporate that actually contacts and calls the clients, it's our retention department, if they didn't pull their credit or send in their results. Now, so once they log in, pull their credit, then our corporate office will be able to see everything that's negative on their credit report. I don't care if it's collections, medical bills, tax liens, repos, evictions, derogatory student loans. Yes, derogatory student loans can be disputed. I don't care if it's, whatever, if it's derogatory or even bankruptcies. If it's derogatory and the client's credit, our corporate office is going to include it in those dispute letters. Once those dispute letters are created, our corporate office emails them to the client, or they send them out a packet in the mail with the letters in them. Once they get those letters, the client has to sign them, attach a copy of their ID documents, and mail them to the 3 major credit bureaus: Experian, TransUnion, as well as Equifax. Once they receive those dispute letters, the 3 bureaus, they begin their investigation. They have 30 to 45 days to complete the investigation. That is the time frame they're allowed under federal law. There's nothing we can do about that. Sometimes they respond quicker, but most of the time, they do take the 30 to 45 days, particularly Equifax. So every 60 days, I want you to look at this right here. Every 60 days, our corporate office creates a new set of dispute letters. If our clients do not send in the results, the investigation results they got from the credit bureaus, and I'm going to show you an example of it. Here's an example. Please ignore my nails. We're on a what are we on right now? A quarantine, so ignore my nails. But if they're going to get investigation results like this in the mail, they must just take a picture, email it to our corporate office, or mail it to them so they can see what the credit bureau stated. So now, every 60 days, the new letters will be generated. If the client doesn't send in the investigation results, corporate will send a copy of the previous letters. They're just going to reprint those letters and send them to the client again. We are a system, we are a machine, so we're going to keep going, whether the client participates or not. So make sure your client is sending in their results. That is an intricate piece to the program. And then, that process repeats until we get everything cleared up. So hope you learned something from that. Let's move on. So we have Credit Builder, where we actually educate our clients around credit. You want to make sure you get in here, click on Forms and Documents, because we're giving you the game to credit. Look at this. There are sample letters back here for you to work out a payment arrangement, settlement letters. There's letters back here for debt validation. There's letters back here that explain students and credit, credit versus debit, check systems. A lot of people are confused. They don't know what check systems is. Wage garnishments. No, we can't do a thing about your wage garnishments. Wage garnishments are a court order signed by a judge. Can we overturn a judge? No, we cannot. We are not the court of law. However, if the judgment is on their credit, we can dispute it and help them to get it removed. So get back here and educate yourself on bankruptcy, foreclosures versus short sales. Look at all of this. No other company is giving away this stuff. Credit attorneys. You have access to credit attorneys. When you look here, if you have something that's going on with your credit that you need to get the attorneys involved with, go here, type in a brief description about what's going on. One thing I can tell you for sure, those attorneys will contact you right away, and they'll see if they can help you. And this is, you know, all included in the protection plan. There's no additional cost or charge. Now, y'all drop some good info up in there. Thank you. Now, credit monitoring. This is where you check your credit score each and every single day. You get the real-time information. You even get your auto score. You even get your insurance score. We have different credit scores. A lot of people have some confusion around Vantage Score and FICO. Let me explain the difference between Vantage Score and FICO. Vantage Score is actually what we offer here in Smart Credit. That doesn't mean that it's wrong. Credit Karma also has Vantage Score as well. Not too many banks and lenders use Vantage Score. It's a system that the credit bureaus created for you to track your credit. Now, I'm not saying that it's inaccurate or it's wrong. It's just another way to track your credit score. Most banks and lenders do use FICO. FICO has been keen for years and years, decades, so that's what most banks and lenders use. There are different versions of the Vantage Score. There are different versions of FICO. FICO, I believe the latest is FICO 9. So it seems like whenever there's a shift in the economy, FICO kind of updates their version and how they score and grade your credit score. So there's different credit scores. It doesn't mean that it's wrong. It's just a different method of grading your credit, all right? Now, let's go here to debt payoff. It's important that you learn to eliminate debt. Certainly, we can help you to get rid of those derogatory student loans, but here's the thing. You cannot get rid of student loans. I don't care if you file bankruptcy. Guess what? Very seldom are student loans included in a bankruptcy. Very, very seldom. I don't care. You can try a forgiveness program. They do have those available, but a very small amount of people actually qualify for those forgiveness programs because the criteria is very, very strenuous and it's not something that's easy to meet. Also, too, that's pretty, I mean, you know, you have to pay the student loans. So what most people do is just keep deferring them and putting them in forbearance. But what we want to show you all how to do is to eliminate debt. Yes, we can remove it from your credit report, but it doesn't take away the obligation to pay it. So I want you all to be very, very clear on that when it comes to student loans particularly. Now, financial lockbox. Financial lockbox is like a virtual safety deposit box. This is where you keep all of your important information, like a copy of your social security card, your birth certificate, things like that. So if you were to experience a fire, maybe theft, or maybe a water damage in your home, guess what? You're covered because you have a copy of it here. You can just go and, you know, get duplicates of those original copies. Now, we even have identity theft protection. Always tell your customers to activate this as soon as possible. For those customers that you run into, this is, you know what, I don't want to give up my information. I say, look, just, you know, simmer down because we're actually protecting you. We're giving you identity theft. Use Privacy Armor. With Privacy Armor, you get $1 million of insurance coverage if you experience financial harm or loss due to the identity theft. One thing that we do is we cover pre-existing conditions. So if you experience the identity theft 2 years prior to you joining our program, we're going to still take care of the situation through our Privacy Armor program. So that's dope. No other company's doing that. The life insurance is only for our agents. I want to make this very clear. It's only for our agents. It's not available to the customers. So this is at no additional charge. You must meet the minimum qualifications to qualify for the life insurance. So you want to get back here and read all of that stuff. Now, even we have a net worth tool. The net worth tool is dope. It shows you how your assets line up to your liabilities. You must know how much you're worth in black and white. Also, too, we have a savings goals tab. With the savings goals tab, you can save for a vacation. You can save for a down payment on a home. So this is a tool for you to utilize to get this stuff done. Now, you even have a will and trust and power of attorney. Now, I know a lot of you have not utilized the will and trust, and I'm going to say shame on you because this is a feature that some people pay thousands of dollars for, and the company is giving it to you. You must protect You, your family, your assets, your children. So if something happens, you have a power of attorney. If something happens, you know, your stuff won't go to probate. So you want to make sure you and your family are covered. I urge all of you to do this right of way. And they're going to send you your black binder in the mail. You get it notarized. Boom, you have your will and trust. Then we have the YFL Family Mint. Now, these are actually some fun learning games for your children to play so they can learn about credit and finances. It's important that your children know about these things, you know, and they learn a lot from you as well. You know, they see you work in your business. I know my son, he's 13 now. He's on the autism spectrum, but he probably knows a lot more about credit than you guys because he's sitting here, he's hearing his mom and dad talk about it on a daily basis. Now, one more thing I do want to go over with you guys before I complete my segment is I want to go in here and I want to show you how your credit score is calculated. Let me share this with you so you can go in here and you'll have the right information. I'm all about adding value. If you feel like you got some value from me, just put value in the chat so we can go over this thing and break this thing down so you can have some credit knowledge and education. How your credit score is calculated. Your credit score is a pie. It's a pie that is derived of 5 different components. The first component is the largest chunk of your credit score, which is payment history. 35% of your credit score is weighted on payment history. You must make sure that you do not miss any payments. You want to make sure that your stuff is on time. That's the largest chunk of your credit. If you miss one payment, your score can drop down by 120 points. So that's the largest chunk, your payment history. The second largest chunk is your utilization of your credit cards. Ladies and gentlemen, you will not have an excellent credit score if you don't have a credit card. Sorry to break the news to you. Sorry to be DJ Mustard or whatever, just, give you some mustard, some bad news. But here's the thing. You must have credit cards if you want an excellent credit score. So 30% of your credit is weighted on how you utilize your credit cards. And the reason being is with a credit card, you're given this line of credit, okay? And then every month, they're looking and seeing how you're paying this line of credit. If you're overutilizing it, if you're making the payments on time, make sure you're not using more than 30% of credit limit. For example, if you have a Capital One credit card, it has a $300 credit limit. A Capital One credit card, it has a $1,000 credit limit. Make sure you're not using more than $300. That's the threshold. The magic number is 7%. If you keep your credit card balances at 7%, your score will torpedo. They must have credit cards. Now, length of credit is 15%. You want to ensure, if you guys hear a vacuum in the background, excuse me, my cleaning lady is here. 15% is length of credit, how long you've been establishing credit. So that's very important. You want to make sure the longevity of your accounts are super long. 10% is new credit inquiries. Sometimes we have to get new credit. Just be careful. You don't want too much. It can drop your score. 10% is the types of credit used. You want to have loans and revolving accounts. Well, Amina, what is revolving accounts? A revolving account is a credit card, line of credit. So as you see, you must have credit cards if you want an excellent credit score, all right? Now, one last thing I'm going to leave you all with, for a lot of people who filed a bankruptcy. A lot of people think that bankruptcies cannot be removed from your credit report. That is inaccurate. That is false. Here's the deal with bankruptcies. So with bankruptcies, when you go and you file a bankruptcy at the federal court, and then let's say you pull a copy of your credit report and it's there. And you're like, okay, the courts added this bankruptcy to my credit. No, that is false. The courts do not report anything to the credit bureaus. They don't even communicate with the credit bureaus at all. They have the capacity to, they don't do it at all. What's happening is the credit bureaus are hiring a third-party agency to go and dig in the court's database, whether it's LexisNexis or whoever, and then they're adding the information to your credit report as a consumer. Now, you can call the courts, any federal court that does bankruptcy, and say, hey, there's a bankruptcy on my credit. I disputed it with the credit bureaus. Did you get my dispute? The courts are going to tell you, the corporate courts are going to say, We don't put anything on your credit. The credit bureaus do this. So, you know, they don't have anything to do with that. So the credit bureaus, they're a for-profit corporation. They're in business to sell your information. They're a multi-billion-dollar industry. They're in business to sell your information. They gather it and they sell it. You know, this whole economy and system is built on debt. Once you learn how to work the system, you can fully take advantage of it. You know, for me, I had my kids when I was really young. As a teen mom, I had one at 15, one at 17. I couldn't give them much, but I told myself once they turn 18, I'm going to give them excellent credit. So I added my children to my credit cards as an authorized user when they were 17. So the day they turned 18, they both had well over a 750 score. And now they both have Amex cards, credit cards. They're 20 and 22 now. So they're both, you know, doing very well. Do that for your kids as well. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. That is my time. I'm going to turn it back over to our hostess with the mostest, Mr. Billy Scott.